morning everyone, it's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking read. Yes, you have another view this morning. I'm trying something else. The iPad's not the most stable there, but not because the iPad's not stable. The stand I've got it's on is a bit flimsy, so I'm trialing that, but I think I quite like this view. I think it gives us the best of both worlds, so we'll see how we go with that. All trial and error until I get settled. I'd love something more permanent. I just have to work out. I might have to buy a more sturdy stand. So I'm using the Modern Spellcasters Tarot here, if you're wondering, for the What's Cracking reading today. I really love this deck. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So we'll go with this for a few days and see how we go. I actually got a new deck yesterday. So I've got the Whispers of Love Oracle. I've been watching everybody else use it. It's usually because I've seen someone else using it and I've fallen in love with it. Don't fall in love with every deck. And I also have a James Van Praagh one here, which I think is Messages of Love too. So we'll see how we go. And I also have obviously the Lovers Oracle here as well. So I'm having a blubbed up day. My cupboard won't close properly. Why is that? Struggling. No. Too fat. Too fat. There it is. The James Van Praagh, The Power of Love, that's what one's called. Now we're right. Okay. I digress. I feel a bit that way this morning. I'm in one of those moods where I'm sort of like, I don't really want to do anything. I just want to go back to bed for the day. These ascension symptoms are not always great. I feel like I have all the symptoms of a cold, but actually I feel quite okay. But it's just the asthma-y feeling. Okay. These cards are really lively this morning. They're probably going to chuck themselves upside down or something. That'll be the go. Alrighty. Six of Pentacles coming up first. So the Six of Pentacles is the card of equal give and take. This is about sharing the wealth evenly. Although he has got a little bit of an eye for this girl. He's giving her something more than what he's given to someone else here. He has got another plate there, so I guess he's trying to share things out evenly. But he might be giving to one person more than another here. Okay, so we have the Three of Swords. This looks like it's going to come up third party or some sort of situation here where someone's putting more investment into something else rather than where it should be going. Three of Swords, not my favourite card in the deck. I think it's the only card I can't really see any positives in because the Three of Swords denotes heartbreak, and it's heartbreak that's still in your energy, so it hasn't gone anywhere. So sometimes this comes up when you've just experienced heartbreak, but it also comes up if you're holding on to something and not allowing it to be released. The Three Swords represent obviously two people and something that's come between them. So it can be a third person, it can be a third energy, you know, it might be work, it may be another situation, but something here has come between people. It could be something even as, you know, like a cultural thing or a religious thing as well, but something that's pulled two people asunder here. And because someone's not sharing the wealth here, I'm thinking you've got some sort of situation here where somebody hasn't been sharing properly. We do have the Knight of Cups coming through here, which I like the Knight. He is bringing a message of love here, but he's actually taking action. He's actually coming towards you here, usually reasonably fast. I feel the universe has got something to do with this. Someone broke your heart in the past, quite possibly here with the Water Sun. This is the card of Pisces, Cancer. Someone broke your heart in the past here. There may have been someone else involved, or this person may have not moved forward in a relationship with you due to some other reason. And you have your boundaries up now too. Okay, so there's a possibility that you have someone moving towards you to give you an offer that may have in the past not giving you what you deserve. They weren't sharing the wealth. So could have been they were dealing with another person, could have been dealing with another situation. Sometimes this can be, if it's not a romantic love, it could be that someone wasn't investing in your relationship because they were investing elsewhere. So they may have had you round because you were convenient for them. They could have had you round because you were doing things for them, you were investing. So they may have stuck around for that reason, which of course, as we know, brings out a lot of toxicity in a relationship. But we do have the Three of Wands coming out first, and I really like this because this is about moving forward. It's about waiting for your ships to come in. So you could be waiting for this person to realise that they've made a mistake, to come back, but it could also mean that you've decided to move on with your life. You're no longer waiting. The eagle for me here represents freedom, you know, the ability to sort of fly away from something and not have to deal with it. So you may have decided to just flee the nest, as it were. Okay, Nine of Pentacles coming in here. Yep, definitely doing the whole single, ready to mingle thing. So moving away, investing in yourself. Regardless, you're comfortable, you're happy with moving away from some sort of situation here. For some of you, this could be a work situation. It doesn't necessarily have to be a family thing, but you're definitely moving away from something and rebuilding yourself here. Closing out some sort of cycle of negativity. This could have become quite sort of taxing, this energy. So it may be something that you're moving away from here. I love that the wolves in this picture are sort of having a bit of a sniffle at you. So maybe you've decided to take time out at the moment, sort of move away from things to work on your own energy here. And when the Nine of Pentacles comes up, I think very often you needed to do that. You need to get back into your own skin. You need to sort of get back into your own body. Sometimes we get so sort of consumed by everything that's going around us, we sort of forget to self-care. And I feel like this is what's happened a little bit here. But there is a message coming through here from someone who wants to tell you something, somebody that feels very sort of passionate about what they want to say. So they're moving in your direction to give you some sort of notification here. There's no action, but you're very sort of closed to this idea. It could be that you don't want to have someone back in your life. Yeah, sure. But this is more about pain and stress. So this person may have caused you a lot of pain and stress, especially if it was a family member that you'd been dealing with or a friend. You know, deciding to accept someone back in your life when they've created so much pain and toxicity is a big decision. I feel that you have other decisions that you need to make. You could be dealing with the Taurus here too. The bull's very dominant here. But I feel this is about being stubborn and standing back and just allowing the situation to unfold. I think with the blindfold here, you haven't really made a decision on whether you want to make up with this person or whether you want to move forward. So you're sort of holding back here with that energy. Okay, I do have the Eight of Cups coming out too. So there's a very strong feeling, there's two eights here. Very strong feeling that you are moving away from things that no longer serve you. This situation could have led you to understand other relationships in your life. You know, sometimes when you have sort of an encounter with someone, whether it be a friend or a relative, and you understand like the foundations for that particular thing and you move away from it. So you may have had a breakdown in a friendship, for example. But it also makes you reflect on all the other relationships you have. It sort of makes you understand or see how you're developing those friendships and whether they really are right for you or not. And I feel like you're doing this here. You could be dealing with a Cancer, Pisces or Scorpio. This card also represents a father figure. So it could be a father that you've had either some sort of disagreement with or you haven't seen eye to eye with them. So it definitely could be this water sign because it was a water sign coming up at the beginning. So this very well could be a male friend or a male person around you that has created this environment here. But it's making you question here other relationships. So you may be taking time out at the moment to really revamp your life. Have a look at all the other people you're dealing with. See if other people are doing, they may have been doing something like, you may have been investing in them and helping them and doing all the things you needed to. And now that that's come to light, you're stopping and you're going, well, hang on a moment. Do I do this with people all the time? Or is this just something that's happened with this particular person? So for me, it's like you're doing a whole life reveal here. Okay, so I do have the Judgment card coming in. So I would say you're doing a life review, and we do have the World, which of course talks about closing out this cycle. I think for some of you, you're noticing a pattern in your life of doing things. I think you're noticing how you do things. So sometimes with patterns, we're not obvious to patterns until we see like the result or the mistakes we're making with them. And I feel like you're either cycling here or you're making the same mistake over and over again. Now, what I can mean by that is you may have made a mistake with a person. You may have had a situation that broke down. But instead of looking at that particular thing, you're having a look at all your relationships to see if you've been doing the same thing in every relationship. And if you have, you're allowing this to go now. You're healing it. So it may have created a lot of stress and anxiety for you in the past, but I want to say to you, now you've recognized it. It's that whole thing of, you know, when you recognize that you're doing something that's not quite good for you or not quite right for you, you might often start to understand how you do that with other people too. So it changes you in effect, because you become more aware of yourself and the way you behave around people or the way you react to people. So it's sort of like doing that sort of review, like you're looking at all of the relationships you have and you're trying to understand what is it. So it may be that you're over-investing in every relationship. It may not just be one. It may be that you allow people to treat you poorly. It may not just be one person. It can also be that you're starting to understand that you don't get any sort of gratitude back again, that people aren't thankful for what you do. And again, then you will review all your relationships and start to understand. This is also about putting boundaries down, which I did see at the beginning there. Trying to understand that when you embark on a relationship with someone, you need to have good boundaries. It doesn't matter who they are, because other people will take advantage of you in whatever shape or form. But anyway, let's put the last card on. Definitely closing out a cycle here, and you have abundance at the end. So we have the Ten of Pentacles coming in at the end. So by doing this, you're creating a more fulfilling life for yourself. So this is what you're doing by working through this energy. But you're starting to see it in other areas of your life, which is changing you as a person. You're becoming stronger because you're saying, this is who I am and this is what I deserve and this is, you know, how I want to live my life now. So I want to make changes to make sure that I'm getting the sort of life I deserve here. Now, for some of you, this can be about romantic relationships. I'm not discounting that, but it's sort of not a real romantic reading. It actually has quite a lot of other energies in here as well. It's more a reading around self-care, taking care of yourself. I do like this though. Okay, so I have the card of spontaneity here. And it says you move beyond the constraints of the mind and freely and lovingly embrace new situations. You move beyond the constraints of the mind and freely and lovingly embrace new situations. Now, what this means to me is you're now applying your learning to other areas of your life. And because you're doing that, things are much more fulfilling for you. You know, you're getting much more out of things than what you were getting before. So it's a really nice card to see here. So it's about taking a chance on people, but looking after yourself at the same time, not investing in others more than you do yourself. You can't invest in other people and not think about your position there. And spontaneity looks like the way to do it. Have a wonderful Tuesday.